Hello student, in the previous video we have seen what is management and we saw nature of principles of management. I told you management principles are the laws that governs the management. It is a guidelines to the manager to handle things. Management principles are formed to guide and influence the behavior of employees so that they work hard, and these principles insist on improving the efficiency of organizational resources. That means whatever resources organization have, like money, material, etc. So these overall they wanted efficiency so that the organization can grow. Now there are different theories of management. There were many management thinkers, and based on their experience they introduced various theories, and these management thinkers like example Frederick Winslow, Elton Mayo, Henry Fayol, etc. were there. They have introduced the theories which are based on different approaches. Now even their approaches are there, but these theories are applicable to all the type of organization, all the managers in the organization. With a little bit of modification they can adopt these theories. Now why there is a need for the theories of why there, because there are various problems in the organization, like for example centralization of authority. There is a stress in the employees, sometimes have low motivation. There are some environmental issues also, sometimes there is behavioral problems, there are health problems of the employees, and work life balance are there. So many problems are there which organization is facing, which employees are facing. So to tackle all these problems and to bring efficiency, these theories were introduced. Now we are going to see first Henry Fayol administrative theory of management. Henry Fayol, he was French mining engineer, mining executive, author and director of mines, who developed general theory of business administration, and that is often called as Fayolism. He conducted very many experiments and observation in the organization, and after all these experiments and observation he proposed 14 principles of management, and these principles he have written in one book, General and Industrial Administration. Now he is also called as father of modern management. These statements serve as a guidelines for decision making and management actions. I'm going to give you mnemonic at the end of the video, so it will be very easy for you to remember all the 14 principles of management. It's not compulsory to remember it serial wise, so don't worry, this mnemonic will help you to remember all the points. First is principle of division of work. Now this principle says that total work should be divided into small parts, and each part of the work should be allotted to the expert in that part of the work. And this leads to what? This leads to specialization, this leads to less wastage, and also reduces the risk. Fayol also said that this division of work is applicable to both technical as well as managerial tasks. That means this principle is not only applicable to the workers who are producing goods, it is also applicable to the finance manager and his team. So for example, there is a company who make handmade soap, and there are different departments. Some people are working in the production department, those who make soap with the exact ratio between color and smell, etc. And there are people in the marketing department, finance department, etc. So people in the production department, they are expert in their work, but what happens, manager decide to shuffle the duty and he take the employee from the marketing department and shift him to production department. Since this person is not expert in making soap, he may go wrong and he may not be able to produce perfect soap. Then there can be a wastage of resources. So if the right work is given to the right person who is expert in that task, it will lead to more efficiency and less wastage of resources. Next is principle of authority and responsibility. Authority means right to give order and responsibility means obligation to complete task. In the organization, there should be balance between authority and responsibility. I'll give you example. For example, in your college, your lecturer is giving you some project to complete, and you as a responsible person, as a responsible student, is completing that project. That means you are responsible student. Same way in the organization. In the organization, there should be balance between authority and responsibility. The manager who have the proper authority should have the responsibility to complete task, and the manager have proper responsibility, then he should given proper authority so that he can give order to his subordinate to complete the task. Any imbalances between these two create problem. So if the manager have authority and he is not responsible manager, then what will happen? There will be many problems, and this may also lead to dictatorship, because he will go on giving orders to the employees, but he will not take responsibility for any misconduct in the organization, any loss, any inefficiency in the work. Same way, if the manager is given responsibility to complete the task and he is not authorized to give order, what will happen? His subordinate will not listen to him to complete the task, and he will not be able to complete work. With the use of proper authority and responsibility, there will not be any misuse of power and timely completion of work. He will also be able to give order to his subordinate, and his subordinate will also abide by the order. Next is principle of discipline. Discipline means obedience of rules and regulations. So you must be aware of what is discipline. When you were, since from the school, you are being disciplined, you are going to school in a proper uniform, you are going to school on time. So from the school time, you know that what is discipline. So discipline means obedience of rules and regulations. Same way in the organization, discipline is very essential. It's compulsory for the employees to follow the rules and norms in the organization. Discipline helps in achieving the goal of the organization. Discipline is for both, for employees as well as manager. If there is no discipline in the organization, that will lead to unhealthy relationship between the manager and employees. It will also lead to lot of chaos and confusion. Next is unity of command. That means the employee should receive command or the order from one manager only. If there are more superior in the organization to give order, then it will create confusion and employee will not be able to complete his work. For example, in a company, there are 3 superior or boss, and all the people have only 2 hand to work, and this employee is getting order from one boss to complete the task by evening, and second boss is also telling him to complete the task by evening. Third boss is also telling him to complete the work immediately. Now, if the employee is getting order from the three bosses, then what will happen? He will not be able to complete any task and he will be very confused. This will also create conflict. So this is the wrong approach. So in the organization, hierarchy should be well defined, and the employee should know who is the immediate superior and he should receive order from him only.
Fifth is principle of unity of direction. Principle of unity of direction means there should be one head and one plan in every organization. You have seen that in all the organization, hierarchy is followed. That is, on the topmost position, CEO is there. Under CEO, various department head is there, manager. So under manager, all the employees are working. So unity of direction says that the structure should be in such a manner that there should be one head and one plan. So you always see that in company there is one head of the company and who direct all the employees. Also the organization have one plan, they work in a particular plan. It should not happen that the company have many plans and these plans are given to employees. So for example, company can have the objective of capturing more and more
customer.
some company may also have objective of providing quality goods, standard goods to the customer. So all the employee in the organization, all the manager, they work in one direction to achieve goal. All the people in the organization are working in one direction. This will help in coordination and company will also be able to achieve its goal. But if all the managers have been given different plans, then there will be a duplication of work and it will also waste resources. There will be lack of coordination and failure to achieve goal. Sixth is principle of subordination of individual interest to organizational interest. According to this principle, the interest of an individual must be given less importance than the interest of the organization. So that means interest of the organization is more important than the interest of an individual. While taking decision in the organization, the manager should always consider the interest of the whole group rather than the interest of a single employee. So for example, company wants to gain maximum profit, company wants to grow, but employee want more salary and less work. If the company will take into consideration individual interest, then the employee may relax in the company, manager may relax, they will not do work. But on the other hand, if the company will make more profit, automatically what will happen, if the company will grow, if the workers are working hard and the company is growing, automatically it will lead to more profit, and more profit will also benefit employees. Employees will also get more salary. That means interest of the organization should succeed. That means employee should protect the interest of the organization first and his personal interest should be subordinated. That means employee should also protect the interest of the organization. For example, in all the games, players are always thinking about winning the match as a team. They are not thinking about themselves at the time of playing game, for example cricket. So here players like Virat Kohli, he will not think about himself while playing the game, but he will always think about winning the game as a whole, as a team. So you are getting, if team is winning, then it will also benefit individual. Seventh principle of centralization. Centralization refers to concentration of power and authorities. So in a small organization like for example shop, power is only in the hand of one person, the shopkeeper, the owner of the shop. So all the decisions will be taken by the owner of the shop. He will not allow his employees or any other person to take decision for himself. But if you talk about big companies, not possible for one individual person to take decision for the company. As the big company have large turnover, they also have many branches and many employees working under the organization. So in the large organization, decentralization of power or authority is followed. So in the small organization, centralization of authority is followed. That means only one person, owner of the company, only take decision. But in a big company, centralization is not possible. So in that case, decentralization is followed. That means the head of the company allows the managers in a big company, a head of the organization, give authority to the managers so that they can take their own decision. For example, if there is a big company which has a branch in many states, so if anything happens in the branch of the company, for example in Mumbai branch, anything happens, then the manager here in the Mumbai branch can take his decision. He can take most of the decision, and in case of a major problem or difficulty, he can approach head of the organization. So that means there should be proper balance between the centralization and decentralization in the organization. This is to be done according to the size of the organization, nature of activity, etc. Eighth is principle of remuneration. Appropriate remuneration to the staff or employees should be given. So what is the meaning of appropriate salary? Appropriate salary depends upon the skill of the employee, expertise, knowledge, tenure of working, cost of living, marketing trend, profitability of the organization, etc. So organization should give fair remuneration to the employees. If the employee is getting fair remuneration, he will be very happy to work in the organization. He will love his organization, and this will affect productivity and efficiency. The employee will become more productive and he will work more efficiently in the organization. You may have seen this in a big organization. Employee is paid high salary, but in a small organization, employee is paid low salary, because this depend upon the profit of the organization. Big company, they have more profit, so they are able to hire good quality employees and they are ready to pay high salary.
Ninth, principle of scalar chain. Scalar chain means the hierarchy of authority from the top level to the lower level for the purpose of communication. So traditionally, organization used to frame large scalar chain which is time consuming. For example, if general manager wants to give some information to foreman, then he will inform this to the respective functional manager. Then functional manager will pass this information to supervisor, and then supervisor will inform to foreman. So there was a large chain for the communication. Same thing, if anything foreman wants to say, if he wants to communicate, same chain of communication was followed. Then foreman will inform to supervisor, then supervisor will inform to functional manager, and functional manager will inform to general manager. So this type of communication was followed, which was very time consuming and tedious. So this is called as scalar chain. Here manager will not inform anything directly to foreman. The chain of hierarchy was followed for communication. So to avoid this long chain and take speedy decision, cross communication or direct communication is followed by various organizations, which is known as gangplank. That means foreman or supervisor can directly approach general manager in case of emergency situation, or if foreman wants to have direct communication with the manager. So in scalar chain, hierarchy of authority is followed, but in case of a gangplank, direct communication is possible. So gangplank will lead to avoidance of delay, and emergency situation can be tackled. 10. Principle of order. Principle of order means a place for everything and everything in its place. That means organization should employ right person for the right job at the right time. Apart from human resource, other resources should also be in order. That means if you require raw material, then it should be available to you at the right time, at the right place, and with the right price. So optimum utilization of resources and efficiency in work is possible if everything is in order. 11th principle of equity. Equity means equality. Managers should be fair as well as friendly to the subordinates. Managers should not discriminate among employees. All the employees should be treated equally. It should not happen that some employees or one of the employee is favorite of the manager, then manager is not giving him any work, also the employee is being paid high salary. Or if the manager hates somebody, then that employee is getting tortured by the manager, and the manager is giving lot of work to that particular employee. Manager should treat all the employees equally while dividing the work, delegating the authorities, deciding the monetary terms, etc. Remuneration should not be depend on the department, but at the level on which subordinates are working. The employee working on the same level but in a different department should be paid same wages. This equity will help in avoiding conflicts in the organization. 12th principle of stability of tenure. Stability of tenure means job security. At the time of appointment, the management should assure about the stability of tenure or job security. For example, at the time of appointment, manager saying to the employee that you are appointed just for 3 months, then what will happen? This employee will not be happy that much because he knows then after 3 months he will have to leave company. It will not create sense of belongingness. Insecurity in job always affects the efficiency of employees adversely, whereas job security minimizes the employee's turnover ratio. If the employee is secure about the job, then he will be more attached to the organization. He will also work hard for the organization. 13. Principle of initiative. Initiative refers to volunteering to do the work in an innovative way. That means organization should give freedom to the employees so that they can think freely. Employees can create new ideas. Employees should also be given freedom so that they can give advices to the manager. So if the initiatives are welcomed by the company, by the manager, then manager can have a discussion with the employees about the new ideas, and this create healthy organizational culture. In old school organization, company follow authoritarian policy. It means in such organization, manager don't listen to the employees. They feel insulted if the employee is advising them or giving them any suggestion. But nowadays, companies are following the principle of initiative, and all the advices are welcomed, all the initiatives are welcomed by the company. So sometimes you see that organization adopt new techniques or they do something innovative market. So do you think all these decisions are taken by director? No, in many companies employees are given chance to speak, and because of this company also grow. 14. Principle of esprit de corps. Henry Fayol has given emphasis on teamwork. That means unity is strength. If there is no unity among employees, then employees will not be able to work together. There will be lack of coordination. So such type of company will not succeed. Running any organization is actually a group activity, and human resources are valuable assets of the organization. If the employees are working as a union with the mutual trust, the difficulty can be solved very quickly. This is the responsibility of a manager. As a leader, he needs to create spirit of teamwork. Manager have the responsibility to direct employees and to take care of the employees, to understand them and to solve their problems. Since manager is dealing with the human beings, they are not machines. Employees have their own emotion and feelings. So managers should deal with the employees properly and should create a team spirit. So now these are the 14 principles of Henry Fayol, which is very useful to manage the organization efficiently and effectively. These principles are very logical and therefore they are applicable in the modern management era. Now let me tell you mnemonics which will help you to remember all the side points in 14 principles of management. So mnemonic is that UCUSSR. Oh, I see. So D means division of work. A, authority and responsibility. D, discipline. U, unity of direction. C, centralization and decentralization. U, unity of command. S, subordination of individual interest to organizational interest. S, scalar chain. R, remuneration. O, order. I, initiative. S, stability of tenure. E for equity. E for esprit de corps.